All right, guys, today we got a 2018 Ford Edge with a 2-liter in it. This thing's running bad, and the client says that it needs a bank 1, sensor 1, oxygen sensor. Bank 1, sensor 1, bank 1, sensor 2. Needs an oxygen sensor. Let's get into it. So I got the King Bowling hooked up to it. When this thing is the client says that this thing runs bad, but it takes a few minutes for it to run bad. When it got pulled in, it was running bad right off the bat. Check engine lights on. So let's get in, and I got the King Bowling on it. Got it plugged in. Let's go ahead and just scan this thing. Let's see what kind of codes we get. I mean, it's running bad right now. This thing's so I don't know that the O2 sensor could cause it. I guess it could if it was skewed. It could cause the fuel trims to be way off. So it just doesn't feel fuel trimmy right now. It's very sharp edged. Looks like no, the network has no access to the server. Error code 6. We try to. Okay. I don't know what that's all about. I'm just gonna go straight into the engine. We already did a scan on the vehicle. The client care people did that. So I just want to go in the engine and see what the engine codes are right now. This thing is running really bad right now. I want to shut it off here in a second. Come on. All right. Almost hit clear fault memory. And these two, the key on engine off, key on engine running, are definitely fantastic things on a Ford. I'd highly recommend, you know, if you're looking for something that's going on with it, maybe it's a little bit intermittent, or, you know, even something like this, you could definitely run those. All right, we got camshaft position actuator, camshaft position actuator, crankshaft position, camshaft position. So we got correlation code. All right, bunch of misfires. Every cylinder is misfiring, plus random misfire. Actuator. What is? Oh, that's snapshot. Okay, got it. All right, so, all right, this thing is running bad as we speak. I'm wondering if somebody hasn't been in here and been doing stuff, because these are open circuit codes here. And the client said that one of the things he told the service advisor was he's replaced the spark plugs and the fuel injectors for maintenance. Supposedly that was about 10,000 miles ago. I don't think you're putting fuel injectors in this thing. This was a GDI engine. I don't think you're putting fuel injectors in it for maintenance. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe clean the fuel injectors, but I wouldn't even know that you would clean these fuel injectors for maintenance. We don't do that for maintenance on these. Definitely do walnut blasting, but I wouldn't do fuel injector cleaning on these things. But who knows? Let's just have that as a grain of, you know, in the back of our mind, you know, treat that with a grain of salt that, you know, I don't know what he did, but if he's got misfire codes and then we get, you know, the mention of that kind of stuff, maybe that was done. Maybe somebody's been in there messing around. He definitely thought that it had an oxygen sensor issue. So who knows? All bets are off on that. So we're just going to go down the path of, again, like I always say, just follow the data. Don't worry about, you know, getting too caught in the weeds. So what I'm going to go with, obviously we have multiple cylinder misfires. I'm going to tell you how my mind is thinking here. We have multiple cylinder misfires, and by multiple cylinder, we have every single cylinder with a misfire. And we've got correlation code with the crankshaft camshaft. So that's the first thing I'm going at. What I'm going to look at now is what direction is going to be the easiest to determine whether or not the crank and cam is timed right. So let's go ahead and look under the hood. I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing off because it's running really bad. Actually, you know what I'll do real quick, just so we can take a look at it so you guys can see it, because I know you can't see you can't feel what I'm feeling right now. I don't want to do, does this have, where is it? It's got a misfire test. That's a little, oh, I wanted power balance. Yeah. Let's go back. There we go. All right, let's take a look. All over the place. So we're misfiring everywhere. So that's what it feels like. That's a good visual representation of what it feels like from this seat. So let's go ahead, back out. All right, let's get. All right, here we go. Trying to get it up there with one hand. I don't know if it's been sitting. When I see this, my first thought is that this thing's maybe been sitting for just a little bit. Either that or they park it under a oak tree. So either way, that's not good. Definitely don't want to, for those of you that are out there that have this, you definitely don't want to leave that. You want to get that cleaned off regularly. That can get pulled into stuff that you don't want to get it into. All right, let's go ahead. See what we got here. All right, so he said he had spark plugs and fuel injectors. Let's look right here. Right off the bat, I can tell you those are really new coils. Those are brand new coils. So I'm thinking that maybe we're not getting the whole picture here. Maybe somebody's been in here messing around trying to fix this thing. So, all right, it's running bad right now. We got cam crank correlation codes. There's two ways that I would go at that. One would be I would go for cam crank sensor, crank sensor, and look at that pattern, get a known good. The other one I would do would be in cylinder, especially since I can make this run. I'll do in cylinder, and whichever one's easier is the one I'm going with. I have no idea where the cam and crank sensors are on these things. I'm assuming, and those of you guys know, I'm not that, well, there's the, yeah, that looks like a cam sensor right here. Sure, yeah, somebody's definitely been in here. Look at this. It's all left loose. I'm going to take that back on just because that bothers me.
That bothers me.
Oh, this right here, look at this. That doesn't, is that clipped in all the way? That looks a little off to me. I don't know, maybe that's right.
The oil cap is what I was talking
Oh,
about.
the oil cap being upside down. I know. That's
OCD.
just kind of stuff that just... That bad boy's on there. I guess while I got it off, we can look in there. A little crusty. A little crusty. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah.
All right. All right. We got cobwebs down here. I think this thing might have been sitting. All right. Let's move on. We're getting sidetracked here. Let's I think the easiest thing to do here, that cam sensor's easy. The other one's probably right here. I can see the bolt for it. I can't really feel the connector. Oh, I think I got the connector right there. So yeah, that's the connector for that one. I'll be honest with you guys, it's just going to be easier just to pop a spark plug out of this thing and do an in cylinder on this one. 100% we could go into these two cam sensors, find the crank sensor and do this just to verify, because we might be going down the wrong path completely, but I'm going to do in cylinder. So let's go ahead. Actually, I'm just going to go right to number 2. I don't have any tools here. Let me roll my little, what do you call that store, that tool store, Harbor Freight? My little Harbor Freight tool cart here. All right. Nope, probably an 8. I do need to do something about getting some tools over here. Snap-on man will probably like me even more than he already does. did buy for over here a set of spark plug sockets from Matco. Let's see if I can. Very nice, I like. All right. Holy goodness! All right. That is
Wow.
good. Hey Mike, you got a longer ratchet I can borrow?
Yeah.
Get it up here out of the way a little bit. Let me get this guy. Mike,
That's crazy.
that was tight even with that ratchet. Look at how long that ratchet is. Holy moly. All right, I will assure you that was over torqued. We won't be needing that ratchet to put it back in, I promise you.
Link in the description for this guy on how to do spark plugs.
Yeah. Whoever put them in, I don't know who put them in.
Yeah.
All right.
So why are you doing this stuff?
Well, this is going to let me know. Well, first of all, it's going to let me know if we're in time. Yeah, spark plug definitely looks new. Got 4 spark plugs in it. Nice. All right. Here. All right. I'm gonna have to get the scope over here. We're gonna take y'all through this thing. We're gonna get everything. We're gonna show you guys me actually putting it in because a lot of people said they wanted to see that. So we're gonna do that on this one. But I'm not gonna let you just sit here while I pull the scope and everything over here. So let me go grab that. We'll get it over and then we'll keep going. All right, guys. Before we get back to the video, Eric's putting this thing back together. We're taking you all the way to the end on this one. We just did the final video on what the confirmed fix was and what it looks like. So definitely stick to the end to see that. We know you guys ask for that all the time. While you're here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're getting really close to 100K. We're gonna have that massive giveaway. Automotive Touch Solutions gave us that e-scan. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have a bunch of other stuff. So hit that subscribe button now, hit that thumbs up, hit that bell notification, and leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you like about the videos and what you wanna see in upcoming ones. Let's get back to it. Got the card over. Let's go ahead and get it hooked up. So this is gonna go hopefully pretty fast. Uh-oh, maybe that's wrong size, Sherwood. Duh, that's too big. Where's the daggone? Oh, look at there. Put it back in the right drawer, people. All right. All right. And that doesn't have to be killed in there. Don't use a wrench on that. And we just have the 300 PSI transducer. Now I will tell you, normally, if I'm looking at a in-cylinder pressure waveform, I'm going to be looking at the in-cylinder pressure, the intake pressure, and the exhaust pulses, right? In this case, I'm thinking this is a timing issue, so I'm wanting to look at something very specific. I'm going to show you on the scope what I'm looking at, and I'm not going to get those other two things because again, we're trying to just, we're trying to do this quick. We're trying to diagnose this thing. So let's see here. What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? Now I'm talking and slowing myself down. All right. No, I need a cable. I'll be all right. It is a more of a challenge than you would think to talk and work at the same time. All right. That's a brand new cable. All right, let's see here. We're just going to go right into channel 1 for the transducer. I don't need a ground. I'm not worried about that. Go ahead, get the software fired up. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do. I am going to get the ground hooked up because I'm going to do one other thing. I'm sorry, Tink, I wasn't snapping for you to come. All right.
Brown, usually brown.
No, the ground is black. Where's my ground lead? Oh, it's probably up here. There we go. I'm using the shop scope over here, so. Going to the negative battery. Oops. Make sure we get on there good. Because I want to clip in there good. There we go. All right. Good there. All right. One day we'll have wireless leads. Won't that be fantastic? Would it be a lead? I don't know if it would be a lead. All right, now what I don't know is, let's take a look. We should have, these are all the same colors it looks like. Oh no, those are different. That's different. All right, so that's a little weird that that one looks like the same as that one though, as far as the colors go. So what I'm looking for here is the trigger. So we can see that one's got purple, that one's got purple, that's got purple, that's got purple, all on the same terminal. We got the black, 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 black. Although that looks purple and black. That looks black. That looks like purple. All right, gonna have to do it the old school way. So what I have to do now is I either have to look it up to see which one I need to be in. Here's what I want to do. I want to get the timing right. I want to make sure that the ignition timing is, working on this thing. So I'm going to get into where we get the control signal for the coil. So that's what I'm looking for. It just should be a square wave, I'm thinking. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is we're just going to do this real. Well, that's not right. Something's not right here. What did I do wrong here? Hang on. Let's go ahead and put this to. There we go. All right. Why is the green? Did I put that in the green? I did put that in the green. Duh. There we go. I need to be in the red. You need this tilted up so you can see it. There we go. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to get somebody to start the car up because I need to see if I've got that on the right. I could get all three of them in there, but it'd be quicker for me just to start the car and see if I get a pattern that I want for the coil control. All right, go ahead. You want me to hold this while you?
Yeah.
That's not going to work. Well.
Can't you stop it with your pen?
Where's Dustin at?
Can you stop it with your pen?
Hey, Dustin! Yeah, I can stop it with the pen. I don't know if I'm going to be on the right thing. I don't want to go back and forth. Can you jump in this thing and start it up for me?
Got him on camera.
Got Dustin. All right, let's see what we get. You're good? Shut it off. All right, I think that's going to. Just stay there for a minute. Okay, that's definitely not. That's not what we're looking for. Go to the middle one.
What are you looking for? Square?
I'm looking for a square wave. I'm thinking that's what we're going to get. I could be completely wrong. Go ahead. Shut it off. Thinking this is what we want.
Yeah, shut it back connection.
That's what we want. Pretty sure anyway. Whoops. Turn that off. Turn this on. I don't want these two. Okay, go ahead and start it up. All right, this is going to be our first, and it's jumping. It's running bad right now. You can kind of see that here. But we're going to try to get it. There we go. This is what we want right there. All right, go ahead and shut it off. All right, let's go ahead and let's see if somehow, cameraman, I've got to get in here and look at it while you're doing that. So, all right. First thing I want to do is blow it up.
Don't always call me cameraman.
I don't know why I call you cameraman. Everybody knows that you're my son, so I guess I could just say.
My name.
Sure would. You're in my way. Move over. All right, let's get the cursors. We're going to bring the cursors and we're going to put them right at the peaks. These. We're going to mark the cam. And we are going to look at where our timing is, right? So I can tell you right now it's out of time. Without going any further, I can tell you it's out of time. Let's go ahead and blow it up a little bit more. So if we look right here, this is where our exhaust valve is opening. So let me go ahead and get the cursors again. It's going to leave this up, so that's good. So if we come right here and we put that cursor, let me get in here real quick. Let me try to get that cursor where I want it. All right, and then we're just going to look right down here, and we're going to see where that exhaust valve opened. So let me try this a different way so you see if you guys can see it and see if I can then back out. We're going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Get cursors. We'll go right here. So we're going to go to the 180 mark. All right, so that's piston is all the way down. And then we're going to look and see that exhaust valve opened pretty much right where that thing is at the bottom. It should not open at bottom dead center. It should open somewhere over in this area. This bottom dead center line should actually intersect. And this isn't true for every single vehicle all the time, but it holds pretty true. Let me go ahead and zoom out now. I just want to get close in on that. I was hoping maybe we could see that valve opening really, really close, but there we go. So this, you know what? Let me see if I can pull up a known good. Let me see if I can't find a known good. I'll pull it up on a separate screen and then we'll compare it. Here's our bad one. So this is this vehicle. Now, again, we're here on the exhaust. So we see where that exhaust valve transitions to open. Now let's go to a known good. This is a known good. Same engine, and we can see, remember I said that 180 degrees should intersect this ramp, and now it's intersecting the ramp, and we can see that exhaust valve is opening, earlier now in the process. So it's sitting now at, let's take a look, put that at the 180, and let's just look right where it's transitioning. So that one's sitting at about 14 degrees or so before bottom dead center. So we can see that this one is good, and we know it's good, right? Whoops. And this one is right on the, actually it almost looks like a touch after the 180 to be honest with you, but it's definitely not correct. We know that, we know the timing's off. Let's look at the intake side and let's see what it looks like. So if we come over here and see where the transition is here, about right there. Just go here, let's just see where it is. So this is a bad one, 74 degrees or so after bottom dead center. Let's go over to the good one. And we're gonna go to the same thing. We're gonna try to figure out where that is. Looks like maybe somewhere about right there. And that's about, we'll call it 30 degrees after bottom dead center. So these are, this bad one, where are you at? Yeah, pull up. There we go. This bad one, everything is shifted to the right. So if it was shifted to the left, it would be advanced. If it's shifted to the right, it's the R word that we can't say on YouTube, but just think the opposite of advanced. That's what this is. So that timing is moved. More than likely, it's jumped on the crankshaft. So, and you could get really deep into this stuff if you could find the spec sheet on this thing to know when the valves are supposed to open, and you could plug that, not plug it in, but you could know exactly what it was and actually try to get those numbers. We don't really need that. We can see with a known good especially, we could see it before, because just by having some knowledge of using these, you'll get used to where that exhaust, it's the easier one to see where the exhaust should open. And now you can see it right away when you see one that's bad. Having a known good is extremely helpful, especially if it's an engine you're not used to. Maybe it's got some kind of different makeup on it, and sometimes they can be a little strange. So we are going to get authorization for a timing chain on this thing. We're going to build an estimate on this thing, get authorization for a timing chain. And we're going to, if we get authorization, I'll tell you what we're going to do. If we get authorization, we're going to take this thing all the way. We're going to pull this thing apart, let you guys see. If we don't get authorization, this is where we're going to end. It'll be what it is. We know what's wrong with it. If we do get authorization, we're going to get this thing apart. We'll see if we can't come in at the middle of the job and take pictures or video, whatever. And then at the end, we will redo this to show it on this engine once it's been fixed. So we got authorization for it. Eric's got it pulled apart. We've got the crankshaft pinned, so it's locked down in its proper position. Let's take a look at the camshafts real quick. So to line these up, or to lock them into place, is this guy right here, goes like this. All right, so this is gonna go in and lock this into place. And if we see, there's slots in these cams, and this slot should be level with the valve cover mounting on the cylinder head. So we can put this in place, and we can see that this one, which is the intake, is off a little bit because it's not able to be flat down on the, it's just not, it's off by a couple of degrees probably this way. The exhaust cam, on the other hand, is way off. That thing is pointing like this. So these things are going to have to, obviously this was the proper diagnosis. They're both way off, or they're both off. The intake's a little bit off, the exhaust's way off. We're going to get the front apart, get everything new on it, and then get it back together. And we're going to come back in with pressure transducer again, and we're going to redo it so we get the after, which we wouldn't normally do, and it's not always a bad idea to do that, but it's for those of you that don't have known goods, that's how way you can get a known good, is to do the after. So it's only going to take a few minutes on this one because they're easy to get to. So we'll get all that done, we'll come back, and we'll do the pressure transducer again. Let's see what we get. Real quick, before we get this thing back together, I just want to point out something to you guys that we do as just a good practice for us. When we're doing timing chains on these engines, we always will put new actuators on them, just to be safe. We're already in here. This thing you can see is sludged up. So, we've definitely got some debris in this engine. We don't want to take any chances. So we're definitely going to do actuators. We always do actuators, but just to be safe, I would recommend that you guys do those when you're doing these timing chains. It's a little bit of cost up front, but in the long run, it's going to save the client money so that we don't have issues. All right, so Eric's got the job done. We've got it all back together. He's already run it. He's doing a cooling system flush because we put a new Motorcraft water pump on it while we were doing this. It's not driven by the timing chain or anything, but we're right there. We got the scope set up. We've got our pressure transducer in. We're ready to go. So let's go ahead. Go ahead, Eric, and start it up. Oops, let me keep this thing going. All right, it is running good. All right, that should be good. All right, you should be good. Thank you. Come on in. Let's get a couple of these bad boys. Like that, the cursors. We can already see the, I need to get over where you're at in the camera view. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to move you out of the way for a second because I can't get straight on. There we go. And there we go. We can already see the valve looks a lot different than it did before. And we can see 100%, look at where that is compared to where it was before. This thing is in time now. We look at the intake. I don't really remember where the intake was before, but it's got to be different at this point. So this thing is, make a comment down below if it's not. But I can 100%. I do remember it's been I think it was yesterday we did this. So valve looks better. Looks like it. Looks like the known good. That's a little sharp valve for me, but that's what this engine. That's why you got to have known goods. This engine just has that valve that's a little sharp like that. If the timing is correct, we can see that the 180 mark is now intersecting the ramp. So this thing's fixed 100%, and we proved it out and got her done. So if you guys liked it, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, hit that bell notification. We definitely got 100K coming up, massive giveaway, Automotive Tech Solutions, eScan. We got a bunch of stuff given away, so hit all those buttons, leave comments down below. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one.